Hi there, welcome to your home for quality content on YouTube. Over the past several months, I've gotten many comments saying, do a video about highly sensitive persons, and this by far, I think, is the most requested video. Someone asked for it yesterday, so I figured, let's look into it. What we're going to do today is I'm going to take the highly sensitive person test and see if I truly am a highly sensitive person. Basically, if we look at it, on Wikipedia, it talks about sensory processing sensitivity. And so a person with high sensory processing sensitivity is a highly sensitive person. And as you can read here on Wikipedia, it is a personality trait characterized by high level of sensitivity to external stimuli. There we are on Wikipedia. Let's go over to the highly sensitive person website. Is this you? Are you easily overwhelmed by things such as bright lights, strong smells, coarse fabrics, or sirens nearby? Man, yes. Do you get rattled when you have a lot to do in a short amount of time? Yes. Do you make a point of avoiding violent movies and TV shows? Yes. Yes to it all. Let's just skip to the tests. If it turns out I'm not a highly sensitive person, I'm gonna delete my channel. That's how much I'm willing to put on a bet that I'm a highly sensitive person. And look, they're saying it's normal. It's 15 to 20%. It's innate. It's basically born into you. The Wikipedia article talks about how it's part of your central nervous system, something to do with that. Click here to take the self-test. Here we go. It's not meant to diagnose or exclude the diagnosis of any condition. Well, that's too bad, because I came here to get diagnosed for trying to think of a disease that will not offend people if I say it. I can't think of anything. I was about to say one thing, and what have we come to? All right, find out here, high sensitivity self-test. By the way, doing this with the green screen is the whole reason I got this green screen, is so I could do stuff like this. Because this is cool. This is high production value. This is like, I think I'm ready to go pro level. Check the box if it is at least somewhat true. Leave unchecked if it is not very true. I am easily overwhelmed by strong sensory input. I will say yes, especially sound. I have very sensitive hearing. I seem to be aware of subtleties in my environment. Yeah. Other people's moods affect me. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I tend to be very sensitive to pain. Now this is one I don't like pain, but I don't seem to experience it as much as other people. So I'm going to say no. I find myself needing to withdraw during busy days or into bed or in a darkened room or any place where I can have some privacy and relief from stimulation. First of all, speaking of subtleties, how did we miss the space here after the comma? Unacceptable. But yeah, I need to withdraw. I am particularly sensitive to the effects of caffeine. Well, I used to be, but not anymore. So I'm going to say no. I drank probably 6 cups of coffee today. I'm easily overwhelmed by things like bright lights, strong smells, coarse fabrics, or sirens close by. This is one where I'm not, because like, yeah, sirens, yes, maybe fabrics, strong smells, yeah. I'm just gonna skip that question because I can't say definitively yes. I have a rich, complex inner life. Once again, a missing space. Yeah, I guess I do. I mean, that's like kind of a judgment call. I am uncomfortable by loud noises. Yes. Especially loud chewing. I am deeply moved by the arts or music, yes. My nervous system sometimes feels so frazzled that I just have to go off by myself. Yeah, occasionally that happens. I am conscientious. Well, according to the Big 5 test, I'm not. I startle easily. Yeah, I would say I do. I get rattled when I have a lot to do in a short amount of time. Yeah. When people are uncomfortable in a physical environment, I tend to know what needs to be done to make it more comfortable, like changing the lighting or the seating. This is a complex question. How often does this happen in real life, that I'm met with people who are uncomfortable? This has got to be the most boring video I've ever done. I'm highly sensitive to boredom. I mean, yeah, if people look uncomfortable, I want to help them out. I'm annoyed when people try to get me to do too many things at once. Oh, yes. I try hard to avoid making mistakes or forgetting things. Yeah, I try. You know, when I like leave a room or anything like that, I'm always looking behind me to make sure I didn't leave stuff behind. I'm very paranoid about that. I'm always I don't know what it is. Is it OCD? I just feel like, yeah. Why don't we take a break mid-test for a quick commercial break? A very enlightening commercial break.
Looking for a gift for that special someone? Consider naming a blade of grass after them. For $25.99, you'll get a certificate of authenticity from the Grass Blade Name Registry.
Thanks for sitting through that. Back to the test. I make a point to avoid violent movies and TV shows. Yeah, I do. You know, I've gotten more sensitive as time has gone on. Like when I was a teenager, it didn't really bother me that much. But now it's like I really try to avoid that stuff. And like even with just books. When I was a teenager up through college, I could read books that were like somewhat disturbing and violent. And now I just don't even want to touch them. I don't like doing it. I become unpleasantly aroused when a lot is going on around me. Yeah, I would say so. Being very hungry creates a strong reaction to me, disrupting my concentration or mood. Yeah, but isn't that everyone? I don't get it. Yeah, I get really angry when I'm hungry. Changes in my life shake me up. Yeah, but who doesn't? This is the thing, is I'm like, why, how is this special? I notice and enjoy delicate or fine sense, taste, sounds, works of art. Yeah. I find it unpleasant to have a lot going on at once. Yeah. I make it a high priority to arrange my life to avoid upsetting or overwhelming situations. I avoid everything. I make it a high priority to arrange my life to avoid upsetting. That's what I just read, Frank. Is the next thing I read things twice. I am bothered by intense stimuli, like loud noises or chaotic scenes. Yeah, well, who isn't? This is what I don't get. I think my family must have had a lot of highly sensitive people in it, because it just seems like this is how everyone, not everyone, but a lot of people in my family act. Like this is the way my brothers are like this. I remember my grandfather, he was like so easily irritated by stuff. I'm just like him in that way. When I must compete or be observed while performing a task, I become so nervous or shaky that I do much worse than I would otherwise. It depends. This is the problem with any self-test. Like, this is so open to interpretation. What kind of task are we talking about? Is it something that I'm very confident in? Is it something that I'm not very confident in? I'm gonna say no, because honestly, I'm good at performing. Let's just be honest. When I was a child, I caught a fleeting glimpse out of the corner of my eye. No, that's not. When I was a child, my parents and teachers seemed to see me as sensitive or shy. Yeah. Your total, 22. Emmett Smith. If you answered more than 14 of the questions as true of yourself, you are probably highly sensitive, but no psychological test is so accurate that an individual should base his or her life on it. Yet, the Myers-Briggs test is so accurate. 16personalities.com is so accurate that you should base your entire life off of it. You heard it here. We psychologists try to develop good questions, then decide on the cutoff based on the average response. If fewer questions are true of you, but extremely true, that might also justify I'm just reading this entire page. This is the dumbest. This is struggling. This is... Help me. Help me, Clarence. This is copyrighted material. So what I'm going to say is that this is fair use because I'm giving my own commentary. And if you want to go do this test, I'm not claiming this test is my own. I'm going to go for it. And if I get a copy strike, then I will eat my words. You know, guys, I am very afraid of copyright law. Because if you follow copyright law to a T, it's very restrictive. Very restrictive. So that's that. Do you see why I avoided doing this for so long? What is there to say? All right, well, go ahead, take that test for yourself. I'll put a link in the description so that you can test. Are you a highly sensitive person? And let me know in the comments if you are highly sensitive or if you're just a big brute who is not sensitive at all. You probably don't even help old ladies across the street. You probably... Well, thanks so much for watching. I'm sure that you highly sensitive people who watch this probably, like, this was grating on your nerves to watch. But this is high quality content, just so you know. just so I can train you to know what high quality content is. Whatever I put out, it's high quality. That's why they call me HQFJ. This is what running on fumes looks like. This is... No! Alright, I'm gonna go play Super Nintendo. You all take care.
I'm such a sensitive guy. You can tell because the noise